Hi everyone, you're watching Jana FX, and in this video I'll share with you as usual results of this trading week and also a quick overview for gold next week. So my main account, the profit was, as you can see right now guys on the screen, 2,400. I have been using mostly my strategy, and few times I was using the new EA, but not very often because the expectation was of the big moves, and I didn't test the new strategy with those big moves just yet, which I'm doing on the cent account, and I'm going to show you the results of trades on the other account in a minute. So I just want to show you that here I don't have anything floating, as you can see, and still a quite reasonable result. So, and now I want to show you the other account. So that's the cent account where I have only this new strategy testing, and as you can see this week it's made 1,214. Remember, again, it's cent account, but unfortunately the floating is bigger than the profit, so I would say we are in a loss at this moment, and the floating is 5,800. So that's the account size is over 40,000. So we do have more than 10% floating at this moment, about 41, which is not as bad just yet. Okay, so we will see how it goes, because that's the important moment I wanted to test, to see when the big moves like happened this week. So we had a big move down and then a big move up, and it's like about probably 300, 400, it's even 600 pips movement. So that's I know how the EAs usually can't cope with such big moves. So we can see right now. Let's see what happens next week, if it's going to clear out this and make a profit, or who knows what else it can do. So the only reason I wanted to check out more is that quite possible it's not going to be easy to apply on a small account. So this is $400 originally account, which is on a cent account is 40,000, which is still alright, but my idea was to use it on maybe a $5,000 account. So that's probably not going to work, but let's see what happens, because the previous month was a really good result, but it was I was applying it on small movements. So that's what I was saying. With the other account I was turning it on and turning it off. On this one I decided to leave it just on. That's what my concern is, that I don't trust the EAs when you put them on and don't watch them. Like sometimes they do quite good reasonable profits, but then it doesn't continue to work. So let's see what happens. So I'm not touching this one. I'm not turning it on, not turning it off, which I was doing on the main account, where I was turning it on and turning it off. But let's go to the overview for this week. Let's see what my expectation. My strategy is still working perfectly for me, so I am going to stick to that strategy on my main account, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys when I'm sending my orders to Telegram channel. I had few requests again, how to read my orders, how to read signals. Okay, I don't consider it signals, but if you like, because I'm saying you don't have to follow it, it's all only what I do, and if you decide to follow, it's on your own risk. Okay, so I will make a video separately, because I've been explaining so many times. I don't want to spend time now explaining in this one, but I will make another video probably tomorrow and on Sunday, and then you can watch it again, who first time is watching and still can't understand. Okay, it's very easy. But anyway, so let's just go back to the main chart to see what happened. Okay, I'm going to 4-hour chart, so we would have an overview of the week of what I was expecting if you watched the previous week video, and my weekly analysis, and what I was expecting, remember. So that area I was working with, and we had news this week, and we had Fed commentary, and we also had non-farm payroll and some other news in between. Remember last week I was saying that when we were here, that my expectation was that it will be movements, possibly one way and then another way, right? So I had the scenario, the same, saying that probably on the Fed commentary it could go one direction and non-farm will change the direction. And non-farm, my position was that possibly it will be a positive for gold. Remember when I was saying that I saw the numbers, and my expectation was that non-farm will be different to the previous numbers, much different, and that's pretty much what happened. So my expectations of that scenario, and that's what happened this week. So what to look for this coming week? Okay, so I'm not going to talk too much about last week again. So we had a few trades. You can, again, first time if you're watching my Telegram channel, absolutely free, it's Jana FX. All trades closed with profits now, so all closed perfectly fine. We had, I think, one maybe trade was recovering, or maybe a couple of trades, but all closed at the end of the week with profits. You can see I have nothing floating. So that's how I usually like to close the week, okay? During the week it could be still floating something, but at the end of the week, if it closes out, perfect. This week expectation. So let's see, guys, again. So okay, what happened? The Fed was quite strong about interest rates, right? But they're still saying that they're going to look at the economical numbers, and then non-farm changed the direction. And so my expectation that quite possibly with the opening market, it might continue still on non-farm, maybe still continue, go a little bit up, except I think it's had quite a reasonable already recoveries. Remember I was correction, yeah, from that big move down. I was saying that yes, of course the correction we're expecting, so I will be looking still into gold continue to go down. Okay, so I still look into the more bearish because there is still uncertainty with the interest rate, but my expectation that the numbers, economical numbers this coming week will be news, and I would be expecting still good news. Okay, so still good news, but like, of course I don't know, but that's my possibility. So if the news will be good, my expectation that the gold will continue to fall. If of course the other way around, then gold might continue to go up. But my number one, that's expectation, still that better American news, and gold will continue to fall. So let's just once again I want to show you the Fibonacci level, so you would see expectation if we will continue to go up, right? So at this moment we are looking at correction of that movement, right? So that's drop, and you can see that at this moment it stopped exactly at 30 level, and of course we still have 50 and 61, so 1900 is still quite possible it might reach. It's still there is a possibility, but I'm not going to be excluded, but we stopped at the 30 level. I'm going to remove it because I don't want to have too many levels, as I'm not removing the Fibonacci from that big uptrend move, because for me it's still nothing yet to change it, right? Here I would see, okay, yes, we do have a little bit of this uptrend where we have bottoms higher, the tops higher, but at the same time, to me, it's looking more like a possible could be a bearish flag. So we're going to have those movements, and then eventually starting to continue to fall down again to 50-61. I'm still looking forward for gold to go to those levels. Okay, and quite possibly it might not happen, of course, next week, because the FOMC, the next meeting will be later, right? So it's not going to be this week. So that's why news events will be still making pair to move, which is nice. I will be looking at possible entry points again, as usual, and placing the orders as you know, usual way. The only could be different settings for the EA I'm using, and that means different take profits, stop losses, the distances I change, and that's what when you're following, just don't forget to also check the setups, because I increase take profits, for example, in some moments, looking for the bigger take profits. Okay, so that's why here at this moment that's my expectation, but as you can see, guys, with my strategy, it doesn't really matter. Again, I'm repeating myself every time because I have new viewers who just maybe want to follow exactly where to go and what to do, but this is no exact, right? So this is my just roughly expectations, what I'm looking at. So I can see, like I'm saying here, yes, it does look like we are now going in uptrend a bit, but at the same time, it's already had enough movement, looking like flag. We do have nicely here. So, and we have this last, let's say, top. We have a little pin here, which still might go a little bit higher, trying to close it. So, like I'm saying, it might be a gap of the opening still of this movement, but it was a really huge move already. So of course that's why from here my main short-term expectation is it could be a little bit of consolidation, and from here, like, this is a good area already, right? We have this little channel previously created, and we do have still another level Fibonacci. We do have probably a reasonable distance. Yep, you see another 100 pips. So this looks a little bit like possible double top at the same time, right? So we have it higher. So of course my expectation from here would be if we're not going to have his little consolidation, then we will go for correction, right, of this move. So I would expect it to go back inside our channel here. But like I'm saying, this is just one of the expectations, but because a strong movement, yes, we had consolidation, as you can see, it went up, consolidation went up, so that's why it might end up as a bit consolidation, and then up again, and then consolidation, news, and then possibly changing the direction. Okay, so here's the it could make any decisions to do something like that, or it will continue to go like had enough, went down, maybe in the middle, maybe lower, sit for consolidation, waiting for the news, and then again might continue to go up or go down, because it's all going to be matter of the news. You see, right now it's you hard to say where exactly to expect it. My expectation is still bearish, like I'm saying, I'm bearish with gold, but of course I will be placing orders both directions. Okay, so the only differences, again, guys, don't forget to check the sizes. I'm saying some of you saying that it's very small, like 180 points. Like I'm saying, guys, this is usual setup for the night trades. When I'm trading during Asian session, I can't watch it, so that's why I'm thinking if it will have just a small movement to take a small profit. And but when we have news like this week, for example, I change it. But you see, I have the other windows here. I have another window gold, I have another window gold, I have the same EA, and I have different settings there. Okay, different setups. I have different lot sizes, I have different take profits, because whatever I'm sending to you into the Telegram channel is basic, okay, for the lower risk, let's say, because when I'm increasing take profit, it's a little bit more risk. For example, when I had, this is a very good area when I placed for the news event, you saw much bigger take profit, so you would have probably take pretty good profit on this move. But you see, it was a little bit more risky because the stop loss would have been moved only after it moves like 500 pips, 50 pips or 500 points. So that's why I said, for example, move stop loss to break even or with a little profit. So you can do so, right? You can either put it in EA if you use an EA, or you can do it manually. I prefer to do manually to watch, as I'm saying, when the news are happening. That's why I like to use EA's semi-manual when you still keep an eye on it. What could happen is if you put it, for example, in the EA or wherever you sell a fast stop loss, you move it into break even or smaller profit. So before the bigger move, it might just sit a little bit up, down, and then it might take you out of the trade with forever a little profit, and then continue the way up. But if you will not place the orders again, you might miss that move. Okay, so that's why there are some options. So then you can watch, okay, it sits in there, slightly moving down, slightly something else, but already away a little bit. Then you can move your stop just in case, right? Just in case into the break-even position, or with a little profit, like I'm saying, a little profit, like maybe 5 pips above, because you know if it might sharply jump back, it might have a slippage, and then you might end up with a small loss or at least break even. That's why I say put a little bit of profit, but I mean like only about 5 or 6 pips or no more. Okay, because yes, the gold does can do this during the news events, have a little bit of thinking, slowing down, and then continue. I mean, here it was pretty much well, but I still wanted to send you that message to place the stop loss into the safe position just in case. Okay, so that's what you need to bear in mind when you're placing it. I'm usually sending you a standard settings because some of you just follow me completely without thinking how much to put yourself, and with this lot size I'm saying, guys, smallest lot size, okay, just use the smallest. Use money management, decide for yourself. But even here I'm using 0.20. Don't use that lot size if you have less than $20,000 account, okay? So 0.02 is the lowest I suggest on any account, especially if you're a beginner, okay? But not I don't suggest trade $1,000 account, okay? $1,000 still not enough. I would say more 5,000, starting with 5,000 would be safer. So, but like I'm saying, it's all up to you. You decide for yourself what you want to do. The problem is what I'm saying here is because I'm using the recovery system, okay? So I can take many losses on a big account before it recovers. It will recover eventually. It will. It's 100% recovers, okay? But there could be few attempts, right? And attempts could be many attempts, and every time, because it uses averaging and martingale, the lot sizes increases. So if you don't want to use martingale, so what you can do when I'm placing both directions, you can increase take profit and decrease the stop loss, okay? But I'm saying usually don't decrease stop loss too much because it's gold. So for example, again, it's my usual strategy. When I'm looking for a channel, so if you are placing like I do, right, 20 pips above the channel, so we do have a channel, you place 20 pips, 244 points I'm doing now. So for example, here's your buy order, and slightly lower, well, somewhere like, I don't know, let's say here, you buy is your sell order. Okay, so if you do that way, so then your stop has to be here where the sell order, and stop where the buy order of the opposite order. So in total you would have let's say if the size of the channel, you see this is quite big one, okay, that was a big one, so you have 60, so then you have to say 60, 70, 80, and then another one here 90 and 100, so you might even have a stop loss 100. But if you have a small channel like this one, for example, right, this one is like only 30, then again you add 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, so then you can have 70 stop loss instead of like usual I put standard 900 points, okay? So yes, you can decrease, depends on how wide the channel, okay? And the distance from the channel you add, or whatever is 244, that works for me because of the spread. I put, so you need to figure out plus minus to see how often you got caught by those pins, right? So that's what we're doing to avoid the pins in one direction or another, so we don't want to catch one or another move. So that's what you can do if you to put, like, let's say your stop loss, of course, if it's 900 and you have to take profit, let's say 120, 150, maybe 200. So then that means if one trade closes in loss, you're making profit on the other one, so you cover the loss and you make profit, but you're not martingale it. Of course, there is also a possibility you can catch both losses, but statistically we have more profitable trades than the losing trades. So you can try to do this way, at least decrease the risk, or you can lock it. But then you have to use a strategy to come out from the locks, and it's not easy, okay? So that's just a little bit of overview for you guys, a little bit of insights of trading again, what you can do, how you can use again the signals, my orders, how I use it, how you can use it, and that's it for now. So I hope you liked the video. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and happy trading, and I talk to you next week. Bye everyone.